So let's get one thing out of the way here, muchachos. I've been a giant Ghostbusters fan since before I was even born. Don't try to think too much about that because it gets creepier from there. When I was a wee little Greg, I had my own plastic proton pack with that stupid foam proton string thingamajig. I saw all 2 movies a billion times. I was terrified of the Boogeyman episode of the old cartoon. I mean, Ghostbusters is in my blood, people. Now we have a game that wants you to relive all that nostalgia and gives you a taste of what being a Ghostbuster is really like. This is not some lame-o side story. This is actually a full new adventure that's completely canon. It has Bill Murray, it has Dan Aykroyd, it has Ernie freaking Hudson, people. In fact, even some of the more obscure characters, like the original guy who played Walter Peck, is here. The story was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, so this is not some quick cash-in. I mean, technically there hasn't been a new Ghostbusters movie to cash in on in like 20 years.
Egon, did I mention what a good idea you had to come up on the balcony?
The game really is a love letter to Ghostbusters fans. The attention to detail is amazing. You get to tour the firehouse and see a lot of little knickknacks from the movies like the dancing toaster that you probably remember. The graphics aren't too shabby either. Some of the animation is a little stiff, but the amount of detail makes up for it. Objects break apart when you blast them, the ghosts like to mess with your head a little, and all of the gear that's in the movies has been digitally recreated with love. The environments are also nice and varied. It never really got boring to look at. However, there are a few problems with the presentation. You'll see these full CG cutscenes that look awesome. They have this great animation, they're really well done, but then you have these scenes that use in-game stuff rendered from the game's engine and it looks not good at all. It's pixelated, the animation and lip syncing are off. You just wish that all of the cutscenes were CG. And guys, I love the Ghostbuster movie soundtrack and the fact that it's in the game, but it was a 2-hour movie soundtrack. It's not meant to carry an 8-hour experience. You'll be hearing a lot of repeating tracks. The voice acting is good and funny sometimes, but Bill Murray sort of sounds like he's doing an impression of Bill Murray doing Peter Venkman. Come on, Bill, have all those Garfield movies made you soft?
We'll start at 50% capacity. That should keep any burning or tissue damage to a minimum.
Hey, if you're gonna burn any tissue, do it to the new kid. You can't use Ray. Our mortgage is in his name.
The gameplay actually works well. You wear down a ghost by shooting it, and then when it's weak enough you can slam it into the ground and drag it into a trap. This basic mechanic is fun enough by itself, but there are also a bunch of different weapons, upgrades, and enemies to shake things up. A good example is when you run into a possessed person and you have to switch over from the proton gun to your slime blower so you can take the guy out, get the ghost out of his body, and then trap the spirit. Some ghosts have shields you need to pull off, others need to just be destroyed. I mean, this kind of stuff keeps it from being repetitive. By the end of the game, you'll probably find yourself relying on one weapon. Once you fully upgrade the proton pack, there's really no need to be switching around. A maxed out boson dart will probably get you through most of the game. There are also a lot of collectibles. Each ghost and object that you scan with the PKE meter has its own little story that's collected in Tobin's Spirit Guide. It's very cool to see. Multiplayer is also pretty damn fun, and this might be something you weren't expecting. There are 6 different modes and a ton of different environments. You mainly work together as a team to take down ghosts, but there are also modes like Slime Dunk where you can knock down other players and dunk more slimers. It's a lot of fun and you're trying to level up to be the best Ghostbuster you can be. Ghostbusters is the game that Ghostbuster fans always wanted. It's sharply written, it has the same characters that you've grown up with, and it makes you feel like you're really a Ghostbuster. However, there are a number of things that hold it back from greatness. Some of the rough presentation stuff pulls you out of the game, and there are weird difficulty spikes that get annoying. But even still, this is a game that Ghostbusters fans won't want to miss. For the full written review, cross the streams at IGN.com.